All right, today we're jumping into two really powerful visions from the Bible. And what's so cool about them is they reveal God's incredibly detailed plan, a blueprint, if you will. But it's not just for a building, it's a blueprint for his people, too.
I want you to just imagine this for a second. Your whole nation conquered. Your home completely destroyed. And the very center of your faith, this magnificent temple, is now just a pile of rubble. Oh, and you're a captive in a foreign land. I mean, talk about rock bottom. Well, this was the reality for the prophets Ezekiel and Daniel. Everything they ever knew was just gone.
And you know, the absolute core of their despair, the thing that hurt the most, was this. Because Israel had rebelled, God's glory, his actual presence, had left the temple. That was the ultimate loss. It created the spiritual emptiness that must have felt so final.
But right in the middle of all that darkness, God gives Ezekiel a vision. And it wasn't some vague, hey, hang in there kind of message. No way. It was a meticulous, super detailed, architectural plan for a brand new home for his glory.
Okay, so let's dive into this incredible vision. I mean, it is laid out in astonishing detail. We're talking 9 whole chapters in the book of Ezekiel, all describing this magnificent new temple. Just look at this. Look at the sheer level of detail we're talking about here. God gives exact measurements for every single gate, every wall, every room, every pillar. Now, the point isn't for us to memorize all the dimensions, right? The big takeaway is just how precise and intentional God's plan for restoration is. He leaves absolutely nothing to chance.
So why all the nitty-gritty detail? Well, the ultimate purpose of this whole breathtaking plan was for God's glory to finally come back and live with his people, forever. And get this, the new city built around this temple would even be renamed Yahweh Shammah, which literally means the Lord is there. What a promise of his permanent presence.
But here's the thing, a holy space for God needs a holy people. A physical blueprint just wasn't enough. So God also provided a kind of human blueprint through the lives of Daniel and his friends, showing us exactly what it looks like to live a life that's actually worthy of God's presence.
And that brings us to the incredible story of Daniel's friends. I mean, these guys show us what unwavering faithfulness really looks like, especially when you're living in a world that is constantly demanding that you compromise your beliefs. So here's the conflict they were facing, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have the king's command, bow to an idol or face the penalty, which happens to be a fiery furnace. Yikes. But on the other side, you have their conviction, stand firm for the one true God and trust in his ultimate power no matter what it costs them. You can see their story unfolds in these really clear steps. First there's the command, then their refusal, then the terrifying consequence, and finally a miraculous rescue. It's such a powerful demonstration that being faithful to God means recognizing that he has the final say over any earthly pressure or threat, period. So you've got these two grand blueprints, one for a building and one for a people. How in the world do they come together for us today? Well, this is where this story gets really, really personal.
The New Testament reveals something just mind-blowing. The place where God's glory chooses to live is no longer a building made of stone. It's the believer's own body. You are the temple of the Holy Spirit. Let that sink in for a moment.
So if our bodies are God's temple, that means he cares deeply about how we take care of them, right? Just like he gave those super precise instructions for his physical temple, we are called to honor him with our bodies by actively looking after our physical, mental, and spiritual health. When you boil it all down, from the ancient temple to Daniel's fiery furnace, all the way to your life right now, God's blueprint has always been about one thing: creating a holy space for his presence. So the real question for every one of us is, in the temple of our own lives, where are we intentionally building a space for him today?